This is Bengaluru, India's IT hub and one of the most cosmopolitan cities of the country. On the 9th of 11th August 2020, violence erupted in parts of East Bengaluru after a mob took to the streets and attempted to set on fire the residence of Congress MLA Akhand Srinivasamurthy. Reports suggest that over 100 people from Muslim community, armed with sticks, iron rods, sharp metal objects and other weapons, had gathered around the residence of the MLA around 7 pm. The angry mob barged into his house, pelted stones, and eventually began to torch vehicles, ATMs, other shops near the locality while protesting. The mob even attacked those who were capturing the violent incident on their phone cameras. They took control of the area and sealed 5 to 6 crosses, barring access to the police personnel, fire, and other emergency service personnel. Soon the situation took an ugly turn after two separate mobs gathered in front of KG Halli and DJ Halli police stations. The mobs locked the gates from outside and pelted stones at the police station. At least 10 vehicles were damaged. Trying to control the situation and disperse the crowd, the police fired in the air in front of the KG Halli police station. However, there was no sign of control as the mob continued with their violent protest. According to the news agency ANI, 60 policemen sustained injuries as the mob hurled bottles and stones at them. Reports suggest that the mob was reportedly angered over a derogatory Facebook post on their religion, alleged to have been posted by the Congress MLA's relative P. Naveen. A few others also revealed that the post was put up by the MLA's personal assistant. As the violence escalated, the MLA's relative claimed that his Facebook account was hacked and appealed to the mob to stop rioting. He appeared before the police soon after the violence broke out. He was later arrested. Bengaluru police is yet to verify these allegations and are investigating further. Meanwhile, the Bengaluru police have detained a local SDPI leader Muzammil Pasha for questioning, who had visited the police station along with the mob to register a complaint against Naveen over the alleged derogatory Facebook post. Reportedly, the SDPI leader along with Jafar and Khalil Pasha is said to have instigated the Muslim mob to pelt stones and torch vehicles near the police station. While Muzammil Pasha was detained, the two other leaders fled the spot. The police has also recovered CCTV footages which allegedly showed that the Muslim leader was distributing money to the rioters ahead of the violence and suggested that the violence was a pre-planned act as the rioters were already mobilized through social media posts. Founded in 2009, the Social Democratic Party of India is the political outfit of the Islamic fundamentalist organization Popular Front of India. Now, the PFI has been accused of various anti-national activities, and few of the allegations against the group are its alleged connections with various Islamic terrorist groups. After every round of communal trouble or busting of a terror module in the country, usually the role of PFI has cropped up, including in the anti-CAA protests across the country. In early January this year, after a violent clash at Bengaluru, the Commissioner of Police, Bhaskar Rao, briefed that 6 people belonging to SDPI were paid Rs 10,000 from their handlers to create violence in the Citizenship Amendment Act protests.
These people were being paid about 10,000 rupees from their from their handlers to create terror.
Incidentally, in early August this year, 4 members of SDPI and PFI were arrested by UP police for allegedly uploading objectionable content on Ram Mandir and trying to create communal disharmony. Reports suggested that the intelligence agencies were keeping a close watch on these organizations ahead of the Independence Day, keeping in mind the threat perception just days after the Ram Mandir Bhumi Pujan. Media space is abuzz with theories and speculations. Keeping aside those theories, this incident does raise a few genuine questions that the police will have to investigate, and also as a society we will have to answer. Was the outrage by the community in proportion with the alleged crime committed by Pinaweel? Social media is full of comments and images that are offensive to one or the other community, and it is natural for communities to outrage in case such posts hurt their sentiments. Is a mob-led violence justified? How did so many people gather up so quickly? Was this a deliberate attempt to create a situation like earlier riots in Delhi this year? The police will have to investigate how did a huge mob get mobilized so quickly within a short span of time along with stones, sticks and iron rods. Was this all pre-planned like the one happened in Delhi? Given the recent reported threat attempts to create community distrust, especially after Ayodhya Bhumi Pujan. What's with the selective outrage? While casting aspersions on a single community is condemnable, what's more condemnable is the selective outrage by those who act as barriers of information to a larger audience and are responsible for setting the narrative. The same people who leave no stone unturned to vilify the majority at the drop of the hat are now either silent or doing a disproportionate coverage. The narrative cannot be selective. And that's some food for thought.